Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is My Joy. Some people call me Joy. No, don't call me Joy. Y'all don't know me. I'm just kidding, but anyways, welcome back. So in today's video, I just wanted to kind of talk about this thing that I went through with my baby. She's currently 3 months old, almost going to be 4 months on the 18th of April. Crazy to think about that I have a 4-month-old, but yes, I do. But I just wanted to talk about something that was really scary that we went through that I didn't feel like many people really talked about on YouTube. And it's this condition called infant dyslexia. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I'll put it up on the screen. And so basically, according to online, it says that dyslexia, or however you pronounce it, means difficulty pooping. And it's a specific condition for infants less than 9 months of age. It is also known as grunting baby syndrome. This condition is a condition where an infant appears to be having difficulty pooping, but they show no signs of constipation. It's a muscle coordination problem. It means the baby is having trouble coordinating the different muscle groups necessary to poop. So at first, I'd noticed that when we got out of the hospital for the first few days, she was pooping like normal. She was having a lot of wet diapers and things like that. And then sometime later, maybe like a week or so later, she just kind of stopped pooping like out of nowhere. And so I mentioned that to the pediatrician when we went to her, like some of her initial visits. And at first they were like, well, she looks healthy. She's acting fine. Like everything's fine. So they weren't really giving me any answers. They were just like, everything's fine. So then that kept up, and it was like probably a week and still no poop, nothing. Talked to the pediatrician again. Then they told me that I can start giving her a suppository, which is basically like a thing that you put in the baby's bum, and it like relaxes their muscles so that way they can poop. And it's usually used for babies that are constipated. So I was confused, but she didn't really seem like she was constipated. But the ones that they told me to get were these Pedialyte, and they look like this. So this little bulb is the medicine. That's the cap. This is like the protective stopper. And this is what it looks like. So I don't know if you can really tell, but that is thick. So you basically had to stick this in the baby's bum, squeeze the bulb so the medicine can go inside. So thankfully I have my mom here to help me, and we were doing these, and it was just uncomfortable because it's like, you see how big this thing is, and that's not like bendable plastic, like that's hard plastic. So you'd have to use these, and then after a minute or so, the baby will end up pooping. So they did end up working for my baby, but trying to give them to her, she's back there crying with her nana, but trying to give them to her was like scary because like, look at this, and she's just a little baby. And so, you know, we didn't enjoy that process of having to give these to her, but they did help her poop and get some relief. So we went back to the pediatrician again, and we were like, we don't want to have to keep giving her these. Like, first off, just the idea of giving them to her, then also what's in this, what are long-term effects, things like that. And they basically still just didn't have any answers. They were like, maybe try to, you know, switch up her formula. Like, she is breastfed, but when she was first born, she had a little bit of jaundice, so they told me to give her a little bit of formula. So as I was supplementing with formula, they were like, maybe try and switching up her formula. And they even gave me like a little sample can of like the Enfamil Gentle Ease or something like that. That's supposed to help constipated babies get relief. But she didn't seem constipated, because even when we did give her the suppository and she pooped, it was normal poop. Like, it wasn't like hard poop where it was like, okay, we can understand why she's not able to pass this. So, you know, it was just a lot of unanswered questions. And then we went to the pediatrician again, spoke with another doctor, and he was just saying the same thing, like, well, she looks fine, she looks healthy. And then he also told me to give her some prune juice in her milk, because that could possibly get like some water in her liver to help her pass her stool and stuff. So, I mean, I never heard of that. My mom had never heard of that. Like, my mom said she heard of like maybe like some fresh juices, but like never prune juice, and never for a baby that young. So we were just at a loss, but you know, per doctor's orders, we gave her a little bit of the prune juice, mixed it with my breast milk. I think he said like 5 milliliters. Mixed it with my breast milk and gave her that, and then still nothing. So at this point, it was like every 5 days, probably for like a month, we were giving her suppository to help her go poop. And like her doctor just didn't seem concerned with that at all. And he also didn't even mention this condition that I looked up and found, like, you know, saying maybe this could be it, maybe she's just learning. Like, he didn't mention any of that stuff. Like, I had to do my own research, everything. So I just became like unsatisfied with her pediatrician she initially had. So I just went to another pediatrician that was highly recommended here in town, and honestly, best decision ever. So she was really worried. She was like really concerned. She told me to immediately stop giving her prune juice. She told me to immediately stop doing the suppositories because, you know, she thought that those things like weren't necessary. And she's actually a pediatrician that specializes in like not necessarily giving the babies an adjustment like what you would think about like just cracking their bones, but using like holistic medicine in the sense of like, you know, realigning the baby and doing different things. So on our first visit with her, she did that for the baby, where she basically like took out a kink in her neck. And it was actually really funny because she was like, I don't know why her neck was so tense. Like, her neck was really tense. And I had let her know that when I was giving birth, the doctor used like one of those suction cups to help the baby come out. And so she was like, oh, that explains it. So she was able to kind of work on that a little bit in the baby's neck. She also worked on like her abdomen and just kind of giving that like a little massage. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but she did that. And so she did that for a little bit. Then she also told me to give the baby some probiotics, which again was something her previous pediatrician never mentioned. So I'll put up on the screen the probiotics we started giving her and stuff. And then it took some time. I think it was like 14 days where she didn't poop or anything. Like, she was obviously peeing a lot, but she had no poop for 14 days. Then on the 14th day, she pooped, and it was all by herself. No suppository, nothing like that. Just regular milk is all we were feeding her. No juices or anything like that. Then after that, it became on the 9th day where she ended up pooping. Then after that, it was like the 6th or 5th day or something, and then after that it was like on the 3rd day, and then every 3rd day since she's been pooping. You know, and then we just went out of town recently for a week, and I didn't give her the probiotics, and so she kind of didn't poop as much then, but as soon as she got back home and we started giving her the probiotics again, that really helped her poop, and she pooped like twice in one day. So honestly, I really feel like it was with the help of the probiotics that the doctor recommended, along with the adjustment thing that she had done. I think that those two things together really helped her to kind of start pooping and feeling more confident and comfortable pooping. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that, like, because if your baby's experiencing something where it's like they're not pooping, but it doesn't seem like that they're constipated, then you might want to try putting them on a probiotic. I really like the one by Mommy Bliss, and like I said, I'll put it on the screen right here again. It is really good. You just give them a couple drops. You can give it to them directly. You can put it on your nipple if you're breastfeeding, or you can put it in their bottle. So, you know, there's plenty of ways to give it to them. The baby, she can tell that she's eating something or tasting something different, but it's not like she's trying to spit it out or do anything. So I don't think it tastes bad at all. But yeah, I recommend that if your baby's going through this. And also, you know, it can take some babies longer, because what you have to think about is like pooping, it requires muscle coordination, you know, like there's a lot more involved in it than we think, because, you know, us as adults, we're like, okay, you gotta poop, like go push out your poop. But for a baby, they have to learn like how that works and stuff. And so what I would see too with my baby Harmony was that like you could tell she was kind of grunting and pushing, but also like her butt would get really tense. So it's almost like she kept fighting against herself until she realized like, hey, I have to relax all my muscles in order for the poop to be able to pass and stuff. And so just know that if you're going through this, like, you know, your baby will learn. You have to be really patient with them. Sometimes that they can go through periods where, you know, they're crying and grunting and, you know, you feel like there's probably no end. And you also might feel helpless because, you know, it's not really anything you can do. Just kind of soothe them the best you can, and, you know, just be assured in knowing that it'll definitely pass. They'll definitely learn. Like I said, it takes some babies a little bit longer to learn than others, and like that's okay. But I just wanted to speak on it because it was something that was really scary for us, and we just didn't know what it was, or we didn't know, you know, how it was going to end and any of that. But, you know, I was really happy that I decided to make the switch in her pediatrician, so that way I could get more answers and feel a little bit more confident in the medical care that my daughter was receiving. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to comment them below. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can do that as well. But yeah, hopefully this gave you a little bit of light or insight in what your baby might be experiencing. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So like I said, if you have any questions, comment them below. And before you go, please subscribe. I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers so I can be on the road to getting monetized. Right now I think I'm at like 570. So if you guys were to subscribe, that would really mean a lot. And yeah, thanks for watching.